Well, good morning and welcome to beautiful Nanortalik. Now that is very tricky for me to say. We don't have anything major planned today. We don't have an excursion. So Nanortalik is quite a bit smaller than Krakatoa. I think we're just going to get off the ship, have a wander around. But let me show you how beautiful it is this morning. Look at these hills and like the cloud cover over there, amazing. So this is another tendered port. The tender should take about 20 minutes. We're going to head down on our way to breakfast, pick up a tender ticket and then get some breakfast from the International Cafe. We'll see you in a little while. So it was very quick getting onto the tender this morning. We picked up a ticket and then it was about 10 minutes after that. We had to bolt down our breakfast from the International Cafe. It wasn't very far at all from the ship in the tender. I'd say the difference between Krakatoa and Nanortalik is the harbour itself was much smaller. So although we kind of got to the pier quite quickly, we had to hang around and go around in circles for a while, waiting for somewhere to moor up. So I think overall it probably took about half an hour, and there's quite a big queue building already to get back on, which I think will probably take a lot longer than it did do yesterday in Krakatoa. Before I got off the ship, I had a look in the Pata, Princess Pata for the day, and it said that the museum is about half a mile's walk from where the tenders dock. So we're just following the big crowd of other people along. So just walking along here from where we docked, and here where the tenders are coming along. Seeing so many of these brightly coloured houses as well. It reminds me a bit of like the Hanseatic buildings in Norway, but obviously the buildings themselves are constructed completely different. Even from here, you can see the iceberg just in the distance. A few of these signs that are advertising iceberg boat tour for an hour. And over where this pink building is, and they're advertising for some boat charters. I think the thing that we found difficult before we came was actually not being able to contact any of these places because they didn't have websites or anything like that. So that's why we ended up booking a Princess tour yesterday. There were very limited excursions offered through Princess. The first one was a walking tour for about $150. There was the opportunity to do a rib or hard boat to the icebergs. That tour was $210. And then the last option they had was a boat going to one of the fjords. $810 per person for a 4-hour trip. Absolutely crazy. So we're just going to take a look in this fish market.
We weren't 100% sure what this meat was, but a bit of Googling when I got home, I think it's probably seal.
This is another one of these supermarkets, the same as yesterday, Bruseni. Again, another place here, this souvenir shop is advertising boat tours if you haven't booked one in advance. All sorts of gifts in here. Yeah, you can buy yourself a polar bear toy. Or a seal. 225 krona. If you fancy it, you can buy some Greenland organic underwear. Did you desire it? And then again, there's the queue for the toilets, because there are very few places that actually have them. And quite a few stores out here selling local goods. Have a look and see what we can find over here. Different bits of local jewellery that you can buy. So we're just walking up to see this small church. One of the churches in Krakatoa was closed yesterday, so we'll just have to wait and see. So church is probably like, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes walk from where the shuttles drop off. This beautiful church was built in 1916 and it was consecrated the same year. Similar to the church that we also visited in Krakatoa, it's also a Lutheran church. And one of the things I really liked about it, how simple and kind of plain the interior is. A really, really beautiful church. I'm so glad that we stopped to visit. Not sure how well you can see, but over here there's like a, I can't quite even describe it. It's like a merry-go-round with ropes. We'll perhaps go and have a look in a minute. And somehow we have managed to find another seesaw in the middle of nowhere. So who knows what that's about. And then just along here we've got the museum. So I think it was probably about half an hour's walk, as they said, on the ship.
Depending on the time of year that you happen to be visiting, you might see more or less of these buildings open. The museum itself is set somewhat away from the newer settlement, and what's quite nice about that is that it means that you sort of see really like an unspoilt kind of area of the town, which really shows you what it would have been like. We decided that we'd go and have a look at the museum, and what was really nice to see was that there were lots of people from the ship who were taking the time to visit the museum and to put some money into the local economy. The museum is basically made up of a number of different buildings. In this first modern building where the toilets were, there were lots of examples of old clothes that were mainly made from animal skins. There was also quite an interesting exhibition of different kinds of boats that had been used over the years by both the local and the colonial people who lived here.
And the nice thing about paying to go into the museum, so aside from kind of all the things you'd expect there, is that you can walk along to this kind of amazing viewpoint. And I can see here more icebergs here. Let's have a look round. I'm going to scoot up here onto this great big stone and have a look. Can't believe the weather today as well. We were well equipped for the cold, but actually it's really nice. Get a good view of the church from here and then back up over the mountains as well. It's absolutely stunning.
I found the building with the medical and the dentistry implements and devices particularly interesting. I'm not really sure why, but one thing is for sure, I would not have liked to have got ill in Nanortalik in the past, and to be honest, I don't think I would really even fancy it now, but definitely worth a look.
So I think there are about 10 or 12 of these individual buildings that you can go into. So this one seems to be around medicine and dentistry. Kind of interesting.
In the museum, the majority of the signs were not in English, which did make it a little bit tricky to work out some of the exhibits.
Oh, it's a bit blustery here, but what a place this would be to come and have a picnic.
There was a tall tower which was perched on top of a rock, and so we climbed up there to the viewpoint, which was really amazing. It was very steep, and I would say it was more like a ladder than steps.
Wowzers, it's windy up here. Pretty awesome view there.
I just looked down. I'll go down.
Is it good up here, Milo?
No.
What's bad? Too windy.
Very windy once you got up there, but definitely worth having a look at. We had to climb back down backwards like we were coming down a ladder. So we've been here maybe 2 or 3 hours now. We're going to head back to join the tender back to the ship. Definitely really enjoyed our stop here. So I would say like make sure you allow maybe like 3 hours or so. I think maybe if we'd been on our own, we would have done a bit more walking as well. It looks like there's lots of really nice areas to walk. So yeah, it was really enjoyable. Let's see how long it takes to get back on. So this is the queue for the tender to get back on the ship from Nanortalik. Hopefully it'll move fairly quickly, I think. There were quite a few places where the locals were playing music either on a keyboard or the guitar, and it was really nice to hear them. Now, let's talk about toilets. So there's a thing in Greenland. So either in Qaqortoq or in Nanortalik, still struggle to say both of those, toilet facilities are very limited. So it's definitely worth planning before you go out and knowing kind of where those are. So in Nanortalik, we actually, when we went to pay for the entrance to the museum, so if you wanted to pay by card, you had to go to the main building. So within that main building, there were toilets, and there wasn't actually a very long queue for those. But just kind of factor that into your planning. I definitely went easy on the coffee on the mornings that I was getting off in Greenland. There were also toilets within the gift shop and the church. There was quite a long queue, so again, just factor that into your planning, really. We had an amazing day in Nanortalik. Hope you enjoyed watching our video and that it might help you in planning your next trip. If you haven't seen them yet, don't forget to check out our videos from Qaqortoq and also Wonderful Voyage through Prince Christian Sound. See the links just here. We've got more videos in the Iceland, Ireland and Greenland series that will be coming out over the next few weeks, and we've also got a number of other exciting trips planned, so don't forget to subscribe to the channel so that you keep up to date with all of these. If you did enjoy the video, please don't forget to give it a big thumbs up